All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Team Zoom. We do these every single Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can always count on them happening, unless it's like Easter or Christmas. So, like, for instance, Easter just passed. We totally did not do a Zoom because that whole day was about Jesus. Okay. So, but otherwise, we do these every single Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So plug in. I had, someone, if you guys go to the team page, someone just asked, hey, I'm new to the group. I'm new to the team. What are some things I need to do to be successful? And I said, plug in. Like, you need to plug in. Like, I don't know how else you expect to learn if you do not have the time or take the time to plug in. So we do these every Sunday, and it's not because we like to hear ourselves talk. It's like a mini team training every single Sunday. It's so fun, whether it's just me or I'll have some of my leaders on giving you guys some tips, or like tonight we'll have a completely different sideline giving you some tips who just promoted to a really awesome rank in the company that I'll let her talk about. So last but not least, plug into these every Sunday. So that's super cool. And then we have lots of things to plug into throughout the week. So get a hold of your upline and say, hey, where else can I plug in? Like, what else can I do for my business where we're working as a team? Because we have a lot of really awesome stuff happening throughout the week, every week. So really excited to hear from Alison. But while this is being recorded, before we hear from Alison, we have a really important and awesome event happening May 16th at 6:30 p.m. So it's going to be in Dimondale, which is basically Lansing. So for those of you in the Lansing area, or even a couple hours out of the Lansing area, I'm an hour away from Lansing, but I'm going. So we're having a Try It event. And I'm so excited because you guys will get to meet two of our ambassador uplines. That's a pretty big deal. So Courtney King will be there, who is my direct upline. And then we'll have Genesis Boyd, our other ambassador upline. So you need to get there, just like someone just asked in the group, where do I need to be, what do I need to be doing to be successful? That's another example. Show up to events, show up for your team, show up for you, show up for your guests. That is a great way to help just skyrocket your business. So May 16th, get your ticket. I'll post it in the team page as soon as Zoom is over, but we're having a Try It event. So the tickets are like $15 for distributors and it's free for guests. So like, please get your butt in the seats and get there. Get people there, get your team there. Make sure you're letting them know. And don't make any excuses. Just like show up. Because when you show up, you go up. So I'm super excited for that. Other than that, I'm super excited to hear from Alison. So you guys, she just went double diamond with the company, it's a life-changing income. And she got a $15,000 bonus. On average, a double diamond makes like $4,000-ish a month. And I remember hitting double diamond and I like pooped my pants when I saw my first paycheck. So yeah, it's an average of like $4,500 every month. That's crazy. That's life-changing income. So I'm going to let Alison just take over. She's a good friend of mine, you guys. So I've known her a long time, but you guys, maybe some of you haven't heard her story. I would love to hear, Alison, like, just tell us your story, where you came from and all that good stuff. You know the deal.
Yes. Thank you, Kim. So yes, I've known Kim. So my 4-year anniversary was April 30th. So crazy. We always say it's so weird that we've been in this long, but it is seriously crazy. So my name is Alison Stout, Double Diamond. And when I found this business, I have a bachelor's degree in public health. I was working a full-time job in my field, hated it. I'm going to just speed right through this puppy because I hated my job. I was one of that large percent of Americans that just did what they thought they were supposed to do. I went to college. I enjoyed my college years. I didn't really realize at the time that tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt was going to pile on like 6 months after I graduated. They were going to start calling me and saying, can you pay $600-700 a month? And I was like, no, but they didn't care. So I was like, okay. So I went to a job I did not like. When I actually started with the company as a customer, I started on the greens because I was constantly getting sick. So I was a customer for about 6 months. And I tell that now more in my story because I think it is so important for us to really utilize our customers. You know, we should always be building relationships with both our customers and our distributors. But the fact that I get so personal with my customers now because I started as a customer and I watched people on the distributor side for 6 months. 6 months I could have been on board with this business making money, but I watched and I tried different products, and I just kept seeing, you know, on social media, friends of mine that I had lost touch with. I saw them having so much fun. So I actually did not sign up with the person that signed me as a customer because she never reached out to me. She literally signed me up on the greens. I logged in. I found my own login and password, and I changed my products. I ran my thing, and I knew her too, and she never asked me how the products were going. So that is why I take care of my customers so well, you guys, because it is so important, even just to say, hey, how's it going? Because that girl missed out on a double diamond team underneath her because she didn't take care of me. So I reached out to friends of mine that were on the distributor side, and I hopped right in. At the time I was working, literally I was commuting one way, an hour one way, crying on the way to work, crying on the way home from work, you know, barely being able to make ends meet with credit card debt and student loan debt, even with a bachelor's degree. The first year in my business, 6 months to a year in my business, I was going through a huge life change in my mid-20s. I was actually going through a really rough divorce, and I had to move like 3 different times in my first 8 months. So it's crazy to think now how that first year was such, at the time, such a really low point in my life. But little did I know that God had such a purpose for that pain, so much bigger than I could have ever imagined. So when I first joined the distributor side, I wanted to just learn as much as I could. I am not a green by any means. I'm a blue and now a full red. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's crazy because I was in a very low point in my life with hating my job and going through, a rough divorce, that when your home life and your work life suck, I was kind of being abandoned by the people close to me in my life too. So when I met the people with It Works, when I met Kim 4 years ago, and everyone that had such incredible stories, we were all in some way, we had such a huge, strong why to be in this business. But looking back now, like, we all were broken in some different area in our life. That's why God, placed this business in our lives. And now looking back, like, I'm doing so much reflecting lately because it's just incredible. 4 years later, and I really, I realized that first year, what Kim said, I plugged in. I had a smile on my face. I was going through a really rough time. Like, life happens. Totally understand that. I'm the definition of I get that. Like, and no one really knew how bad it was in my life when I first joined, because I was so excited about this opportunity because there was something inside of me saying, I need an extra couple $100 a month because I'm going from 2 incomes to 1, scared out of my mind. And then I started just being around such like-minded people. Like, I just was like, couldn't believe how people were dreaming so big. Our upline Courtney was just, talking about the dreams that you can do anything you want in life. And at the time I was so broken that I was like, what? I'm like settling for such a horrible, I was in such a bad place mentally. And it's just crazy how I went to every event that I was introduced to. I would drive hours. I would lie to my boss and I would leave early. I would say I had an appointment. I would cut out early. I would stay until I would go to Applebee's every time, stay till midnight, drive an hour back home, be up the next day at 6 o'clock. And I would be in my cubicle all day long working. I did get my work done, but I also, every chance I got, every break I had, on my lunch break at 4:30 when I left, this was before keto coffee, I would get another source of caffeine and I would go home and I would work this as a second job. Because for me, going full time with this was my dream. My first year, when I went to conference, I was very YOLO the first year that I went because I was going through a life change and I was like, I can do whatever I want. This is so much fun. I was loving the fun aspect. So the girls on my team were like, go to conference, it'll change your life. And, you know, for those of you that don't know, we have a once a year conference in Tampa in February. And so I went. I paid it on a credit card, you guys. Did not have any extra money. Like I put on a credit card. I don't know if I necessarily, you know, recommend that, but there's no excuses. Like I knew there was something inside of me that said I had to go. And when I went, my whole life changed. My whole future changed. The vision I had, the stories I heard, the realization that I was no different than anyone else on stage. And I came back and I double promoted that next month. And I remember I was just like, and I paid off the trip. I was just like, oh my goodness. And then I would go to work every day for that next year, miserable. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're like, I am not meant to be here. I am doing such a disservice to myself and my employer. I will never bash, you know, the cubicle world or any type of career path. But what I've learned is if you are not passionate and fulfilling your purpose in life with what you're doing, then you're not meant to be there, and you're doing a disservice to yourself and your employer. So that was when I decided I was going to go all in, like crazy all in. Denise Walsh, one of our Black Diamonds, said, I will never forget sitting there at conference and hearing this. And she said, there's 2 days with your business. There's 2 D-days with your business. And one is the day you join, which I had joined April 30th, 2015. And it was the day you went all in. And it was at conference. I was like, I'm going all in. And I ran for that next year. And I will never forget going to conference again and saying, this is it. This is my year. I can do this. And I had worked this as 2 jobs for like 2 years. And there was something inside of me saying, I can't keep, I had to pick one because I wasn't giving either of them my full attention. And I remember coming back from conference, and I had just worked a really busy season I worked for state government, and I was underpaid, overworked, understaffed. And I asked my boss for a raise, and she had promised me a raise after a certain point. And then they said, no, we want to see this, and that first. And I was just like, I remember sitting there and I said, okay. I put my 2 weeks in that Friday, and I said, I'm going to go, my work ethic writes my paycheck. And they all looked at me like, you're crazy. I said, my work ethic writes my paycheck. Within 2 months, I knew I had 2 months to go diamond, and I did. And I have never looked back, ever. Now being double diamond, now more than doubling my monthly income, with earning over 20,000 in bonuses since I've been with the company. You know, it's just, I'm so grateful that I never gave up, ever. I mean, I've had seasons with this business just like everybody else. If you come into this and you think you're going straight to the top like I did with not one single bump in the road, I'm so sorry to burst your bubble, but that's just not how it works, because any successful person you have to fail forward. If you do not feel any type of, you know, there's going to be ups and downs with this, but you have to do that in order to grow. Growth is such a part that people don't necessarily want to hear because they want to skip right over it. But I'll tell you, if you know in your heart that you took this leap of faith, that there was something inside of you that needed to join this business, that God places in your heart and in your life for a reason, that, I mean, you just got to keep going. I mean, Kim knows I've had ups and downs in my business. I've had people on my team I never thought would walk away, and they did. And you know what? It's hard, just like anyone in life, but man, the right people, you pray the right people into your business. And so, yes, I just went double diamond 2 months ago. And I've totally revamped my business in the last year. I'll talk about that if Kim wants me to exactly what shifted after I went diamond. Yeah. So do you want me to talk about that, Kim?
So yeah, in just a second. So like I learned more about your story. Like I learned stuff about your story that I've never heard before. And I think that's cool. Like I didn't realize that you didn't enroll with the person that you were a customer under. That's crazy. If that's like one of my biggest ahas during this Zoom already is take care of your customers. Like Alison would have joined that girl if that girl would have been like, hey, there's like you can make money with me. How are you liking your products? That's a huge aha. But also like I really started to get to know you when you were literally at that point in your job where you hated it. You were like, girl, I'm working It Works the whole time I'm there. And I'm like, that's when I started to really get to know like Allison and Kendra, because they're like a sister duo, y'all. And Kendra's on here. She just went diamond and got the $10,000 bonus. But I remember like getting, that's when I started to get to know y'all, was when you constantly talk about like, I hate my job. I hate it. And you would like laugh, and you guys, her spirit is so amazing. So to know, like, she was going through a lot of that stuff when we had first kind of met, and like a divorce in her mid-20s and having all that debt, and like but her spirit was always so like so up here. So I love that. And you're right. God had a plan. Like God literally was like, just let me listen. I'm working it out. Just trust me. And that's exactly a part of my story. He was like, can you just shut up and stop being such an atheist biatch and let me just tell you that I'm for real. So I love your story, dude. So yeah, because I know you said you've gone through seasons. So have I. I mean, I don't think, I remember a leader said this one time. She's like, if you think your journey is going to be this, y'all are going to have to look at your screen. Like, if you think your journey is going to be this, like, you are sadly mistaken. If you think you're going to get to the top like this, you have got another thing coming. She goes, it's going to be this. And that's okay. You have to go through the bumpy roller coaster ride before you can go up that hill for, like, good. And so it's been a journey, but you really, when you're doing this business, you're not even changing your life. You're changing who you are for the better. That takes a lot of growth sometimes, especially because most people start this business in their 20s or 30s when you're really starting to get to know who you are. Like, I mean, there's my mom. I mean, yes, there's people that aren't getting started when they're 20 or 30, but still it makes you, Laura, hi. It makes you a better person, period, no matter what your age. I mean, it makes you a better person. So can you talk about, because my point was you've had seasons. Okay. So I would assume, now tell us this, when you went double, was everyone who went double with you, was that most people that went diamond with you?
Nope.
Okay.
It's so funny because I think I looked at it. I don't even know.
Other than
like
Kendra?
2 people, Kendra, my sister. Yeah. I mean, and it's so crazy to think that. And when I went diamond, it was amazing. It really was. And it was at a time though where I didn't realize that there was still, in order for me to really get to the level, because double, triple, and above has always been why I joined. Some people don't join for that, and that is okay. I've also learned that, if your goal with this, ultimate goal, is not to go full-time with this, that is okay. We are just showing you that you can, that like there is no cap on the income that you can do. And when I first joined, that first year, my plan wasn't to quit my job. I just knew I needed to make money. And then I was like, I realized you could replace your full-time income times $10,000 million a month. And I was like, oh, okay, I get that now. Maybe, you just got to have passion and heart and grit. And so that year after diamond, I did lose some people. I had some people that were still with me. My sister and I, we do this together, and I did so much growth. So when I was going through that kind of, it was I think it was 2017, and I think a lot of people it was a weird year. I don't know. It was just a weird year. Yeah, but it was just like so many people had gone, so we went so crazy fast, and it was so amazing. And then I was like, going through some of the lessons that I had to learn in order to really truly call myself a successful entrepreneur as well as a network marketing professional, I had to do some trial and error, and I had to learn how to be a leader at the level that is worthy of full-time income with this business. I feel that now my work ethic has proven my paycheck worthy. I believe that, if Mark were to look at me and say, did you earn your paycheck? I 100,000% think he would pat me on the back and say, you earned that paycheck. And that is something that I take it back to the real world. If we're working this business and we're saying we're working this business, and then we're upset that we're not getting paid what we think we should be getting paid, it takes some time to really look in the mirror sometimes, not blame anyone else. You can't blame your upline, you can't blame your downline, you can't blame, the products or the company. It does sometimes, you do have to sometimes humble yourself. Humble is a huge word in my life. And you got to humble yourself sometimes and really think, am I putting in everything I've got with this business? Am I practicing what I'm preaching? Am I saying that I can do this and I can really give it my all? because excuses can come. Life does happen. I get it. I mean, I get it. I've gone through some crazy life moments while in this business. And I was looking back the other day and I realized, I was actually watching a Zoom from another leader, and she said this, and it was an aha for me. She said, you know, and same with me. I mean, my aunt just passed away like 2 weeks ago, very unexpectedly. And, you know, not saying that, you know, we all give ourselves time when life happens, but I will say throughout the last 4 years, I've always plugged in some way in my business. There has not been, I don't think, one single day that I did not plug in some way. And that is why, and it was because even when life was happening, even on my days, I tell my team all the time, it's the random third Tuesday of the month when it is just like the second or third random Tuesday of the month. It's not the beginning of the month when you're so pumped for whatever goal you have. It's not the end of the month where you're pushing for it. It's that mundane Tuesday afternoon when you're like, I don't feel like working this. That is when you have to work harder than you ever have. You have to push this even harder on the days that you're not necessarily wanting to work this, because that is where you're going to, that's where you're going to reach that goal. That's really going to, I'm telling you, it's where it's going to show through who's truly got what it takes to do this. Everyone has this same opportunity. There is nothing different from Kim or I than any one of you that's watching this, because we just have done it longer and we've done it more consistently, and we've embraced the lessons. So when I went through that hard time, you know, after going diamond, you know, during the time, you know, any time in your life, you're like, oh, why am I going through this? You know, I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful for every lesson I learned, because for me, I've been in back when the day it was more belly to belly. We were very belly to belly, and still is a great way to build. But the year after I went diamond, I was starting to learn so much about social media. And I really, you know, there's 7 billion people in this world. And I think that sometimes, you know, we're like, everybody, you know, people say this all the time. Well, everyone, you know, knows this or does this. I'm like, not in a million years. I live in the Lansing area and I could go to Walmart right now, and there are people that have never heard of what we do. And when I think about the scale of people, and then the fact that we have the world at our fingertips through our cell phones, you know, I started to really see, I was in a season where I was in my business and I was like, okay, I've seen success, but I am nowhere where I want to be. And I know I've got something else that I'm not utilizing. There's something else I'm not doing. So what I did was I started to study. And I made it a point for about 6 months last year, beginning of last year, I made a commitment to myself that every single day when I got ready in the morning, I would watch a different Zoom while I was putting my makeup on, doing my hair. I was like, I'm going to watch a Zoom from a top leader. And I started to do that. And I started taking notes. And every single day, I also made personal development such a huge part of my day. You know, and I get it. When you're working full-time jobs, it's hard to incorporate personal development into your routine. I remember I tried so hard to even set my alarm 15 minutes earlier, but at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're like, ugh. But it is so important to do that, or at night, or even on your lunch, like whenever you have time to do that. Watch something, read something that really makes you feel so good, you know, like so good, so inspired. Even if it is on YouTube, a 10-minute motivational video that you have to watch for your getting ready in the morning. Like I did that. It's the first hour of your day, even the first 15 minutes to hour of your day. If you can plug in here and you can pour into yourself before you get ready to pour into other people, it can change your whole day. I did that. And now, because I am full-time, very blessed with that, my first like 3 hours are personal development. It's so routine. And if I don't like do some sort of personal development every day and I just jump on my phone, I already know I'm setting myself not up for success that day. I have got to pour into myself and have alone time with God and just really plan out my day in order to do that. Sunday nights, actually, right now, like after this, I'm going to get down. I'm going to plan out my week. I love Sunday nights to plan out a fresh week. There is something so powerful in a fresh week, you guys. If you feel like maybe you're not where you want to be, or you're like, just start right now and do it. But yeah, social media, last year, I just kept learning from so many people on YouTube. Yeah, there's Zooms on YouTube. And you can look at top leaders. I would try to do a different leader every day. And then I had a notebook. So around July of last year, was it last year? I think it was last year. Facebook has always been huge for me. I had never really tapped into the whole world on Instagram, and I started to hear everyone talking about Instagram. So for about 6 months, I played around with it, and I said, I'm gonna give it a shot. And it paid off because I was so stinking consistent with it. As network marketers, we are paid to promote and share these products. It's all we're paid to do, and help mentor other people to do the same. We don't have to overcomplicate it more than anything than that. We literally are paid to share these products. And what better way to do that than when we're already on our phones on social media? And I really studied attractive marketing. That was huge. If you are not aware of what that is, definitely Google it, research it. A lot of times people will come to me and they'd say, what are your scripts or what are you doing? And I'm like, I can tell you, but it's so hard to put into words unless you actually make it a point to learn it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that we can teach you, but until you actually go and you're like, okay, how can I make this a part of me? How can I brand myself, and what is unique about me? Because what I was noticing while I was watching these Zooms from top leaders is that there was nothing different from any of them from me. A lot of them actually had so many similarities in the fact that they had such amazing success with their business, and then they had some really down seasons that they weren't really prepared for, and it really motivated them, and they said, enough's enough, I'm running. And I followed them. Copy the right cats. Like, I followed them. I started following their Instagrams, their Facebooks. So it was really, I can really say, when you're ready, I tell my team this all the time. A lot of times, they're like, I'm not really where I want to be, or I'm doing kind of the same things, or I'm doing what you're telling me to do. And I can say with utmost confidence, I'm saying you're doing it, but you're not, there's no feeling behind it. Until you can feel something about what you're doing. And I don't have the power to motivate a single person on this planet. The only hope that I can do is inspire them to show them a way. So from about last August through March, I guess you could say, I was sort of like a guinea pig to myself. I remember saying to myself, I woke up on August 15th of this last year, and I said, okay, I literally woke up, it was a Monday on August 15th, and I said, enough's enough. I'm going all in. Like, I've been at this rank for a little while now. This is fun, but I know I'm made for more. I have so much to teach, so much to give. I didn't join for just this. I joined for everything that this company has to offer. And so I ran with it. I didn't have to have my upline call me at all and say, are you going to work today? I didn't have to have anyone tell me. I knew as my own boss that I was going to plug in. No one had to tell me I needed to plug in. No one had to check in on me. My upline, Courtney, she was like, what did you just do? She's blown away because I was like, I'm about to go crazy. This is it. Everybody better watch out. And I committed to myself. I looked myself in the mirror and I said, it's time, Alison. You can do this. You can do this. It's time. So in August, September, and October, I just ran with it. I utilize growing my network every day, adding new people. I utilize stories, especially on Instagram. Stories, if you're not utilizing it, it's like a Snapchat feature. I started doing that every single day, and I have not missed a day since. And I love to be very positive on my social media because I think that's so rare. It's not norm. I'm not the norm. I'm actually positive on social media. That's not normal to this world. So what I like to do, I'm very routine. I thrive on being a very routine person. I try to be spontaneous in my just everyday life, but I am so routine that it's almost like a problem. So, but it helps with my business. So I know that in the morning, I'm going to post on my story like a motivational quote. Then I'm going to stir my keto coffee. And I can see all of these people that are watching me. I'm not posting spammy posts. I'm not, whatever. I'm literally showing that I use the products that I'm promoting. I'll maybe do a funny video or my dog's playing, and then I'll do before and after pictures. It's such an amazing way to be able to show what our products, the products I use on a daily basis, and then show what these products are doing for people so that all these people that are scrolling through my stories every day, they're like, okay. And when they're looking through, they can say, well, I know that's that coffee girl. I know a lot of people now, they're like, you're that coffee girl. I'm like, sure, I guess. Yeah, if that's what you want to call me. Because they know it's a buzzword, you guys. Everyone's hearing about our skinny coffee, and they know because I post about it every single day, even on the days when, I don't necessarily, it's everyone has days, I'm so consistent. I remember in the beginning, I would hear these words people would say, top income earners or our leaders would say, just got to be consistent. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You got to take action. I'm like, woohoo, that's cool. Like, whatever. If you are not consistent or take action every single day, massive action in one direction every single day, like you're doing yourself a disservice, because it is so true. That's why we are where we are, because we give it our all every day. We show up every day. We plug in any chance we can behind closed doors. No one has to tell us to do it. No one has to check in. We do it because we want, because we're so passionate about it, because this is what we're paid to do. And so that was my fall of this last year. And then I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do both. We're going to incorporate Instagram stories on Facebook, and I'm going to really utilize this buzzword of host a post that I personally had attempted last year, and I just hadn't got the right niche from it yet. And it wasn't until I said, it's not the post itself. It's not anything. It was me. I didn't have the right thought going into it. And I started doing every single day, like 6 things. I post, I add, I do my stories, I do host a post, and I follow up every single day. There is nothing that I don't have to, it's May 5th. I don't have to say, should I do something different this week? Heck no. Why would I do something different? What we're telling everyone to do, what I tell my team to do is this, it's working. And if you work it, it's going to work. You guys, I went from 4 to 5 enrollments a month. Looking back, on average, I would say. Some months I would have like 8 or 10. I'd be like, oh my gosh, which is still amazing, very amazing. But I literally went from like 4 to 5 on average to 40 to 50 on average in the last 8 months. 8 months. Last month, after I promoted, I didn't necessarily. I never take a break, but I took a little breather, because when you promote that much, you're like, woof, what's going on? I still post it every day. I always plug in. But I worked really hard at the end of last month. Like we're doing a team giveaway, and I worked really hard. And I didn't even realize, I looked back, just counted, I had enrolled 41 people last month. And I didn't have a goal set for last month, which is not normal, because I always have goals. I always write goals. So I had to take a step back and be like, whoa, this is, and it, you know what it is, you guys? It's because I've been so consistent for the last 4 years, but extremely consistent for the last 6 to 8 months, that probably 3/4 of those people were seeds planted from months ago that finally came around. Oh, sorry.
No, that was my double diamond. People think it happened that month. I'm like, no. Listen, yeah. I was literally complaining the month that I went double diamond. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. Literally out of nowhere. Because I promoted in April. You promoted 2 months ago, right? So
March. Yep. March 30th.
Okay. Same. Right. So when I went double in April, like, this is just, guys, it's go time right now. The momentum is freaking stupid. Yeah. So when I went double in April, it was, oh my God, I can't remember. I went diamond in April, but I went double in like February, and I went triple in April. So anyway, the point is, this season is where it's at. So more than ever. And I remember going, and I was like, oh my God, literally, like, everyone I enrolled to go double, and it was not 41 people, y'all. So like, but everyone I enrolled, they were all like seeds planted. And I was like, oh, this is what they mean by keep planting the seeds.
Yeah.
This is what they mean. It just earned me, like, I don't know, a $4,000 paycheck. Cool. So like, it was just really, that was like a huge aha for me. And I did want to, really quickly, I want to read this. Hold on. I messaged this lady in March, and today she responded, yes. There you go, Siobhan. Yes, exactly. And super quick shout out, Laura, your posts are getting so much better. Like, your post that I just loved, that is a good post. Anyway, quick side note, but I That's a great picture and a great post. So I know, Kendra, I didn't really ask you, but I do want to hear really quickly, if you're even able. If you're not, totally fine. But I didn't ask you, Kendra, to talk. So you're probably like, really, Kim? Thanks a lot. But if you could, I know Alan's probably like, text her. I was going to say.
No, I'm not. Is she on? I think she might be.
She
She's
is
putting it down.
on.
She might be able to.
Nope. If she can't, dude, totally fine. And she hasn't unmuted, so that means she's probably busy. Kendra, you're fine. Stay muted. You're fine. Okay, so Kendra, this is your board. You do not have to unmute. Okay. So I didn't ask Kendra to speak, you guys, but what I love is that her sister Allison, obviously the one speaking, is single, no kids, like
Yep.
completely different. Kendra has two babies, or well, almost. Oh my God, I said
One's cooking.
Yeah, one's cooking. She's busy. Like, she's busy.
Yeah.
She's got, I mean, two kids, almost two kids is, I mean, having a kid and being pregnant, I've been there. It is
Yeah.
hard work. It is hard work. And she promoted to Diamond. And so I want y'all to understand that you don't have to be an Allison or a Kendra. Like, do you see the different kind of people we have on our Zooms? Like, Allison is this, I am that, Kendra is that, Kaylee is that, like Sienna and Jenna, y'all are that, and that's okay. I love that anyone, as long as you, like Allison keeps saying, commit to yourself. And I love that Allison literally, I've watched her, explore the whole Instagram thing and actually make it work. And the only reason she actually made it work was because she decided to stick to it. Even when it didn't seem like it was maybe working right away, she stuck to it. And so now her Instagram is on fleek. So I love, she's already talked about personal growth. Y'all know that is huge. Y'all hear me talk about it all the time. I love personal development. But now, and I love that your team, the people you went diamond with is not people you went double with. You've done this for 4 years. Can you give us her Instagram? What is your Instagram?
Alison_Stout, I think. Yeah.
Something
is there an underscore in there somewhere, I think?
But
going back to my sister really quick. Yeah. So she, when I first started, she was just a customer. She was a full-time teacher, has her degree in teaching. And her huge why was always to be a mom, have kids, and she loves kids. And so, but I don't know if any of you are teachers or know a teacher, but they do not get paid anywhere what they deserve to be paid. It's crazy. And I remember when I went Ruby, she actually went executive because she was my executive. I was like, hey, you just promoted, whatever. And it was so funny because she had seen my growth through the year, through my divorce and everything, how low I was. Then she saw me become a whole new person in like a year. She's like, you are like my personal growth because of It Works was insane. And, I was starting to make some money and I was like, listen, I'm doing this. Like, I'm about to be free as a bird. I'm owning my time. Like, you do not have to commute one way, work all these, barely ever saw her husband or anything. And she decided to go all in with me. And she has a 1-year-old now since she's been in the business. And now she she retired from teaching. She is a diamond with her husband as an emerald. She earned a $10,000 bonus. She makes more than her teacher's salary. And now she has a second baby on the way in August, and she is fully charted for double. Like, she is on fire. Her personal growth is just blown me away. And so it is fun. It's so much fun to do it with my sister. And it's crazy too, because like, she has a crazy busy life in a different way. And we balance each other out so well. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is cool to be able to do this. You get to pick your coworkers. And we're very, very passionate about what we do. And we know like this is still just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And that's still so crazy, because if this is still just the beginning, like, I'm like, what?
Right. Well,
yeah.
Like, and what I love, and like, no, what a blessing, because I know Kendra would always talk about her teaching job before she even had a kid. And like, just now that I have my son as an almost kindergartner, I'm just like, man, bless your heart. I don't know how y'all do it. And she deserved so much more. So it's just so cool to see that she went diamond and now is about to go double. And I forget she's due the same time my sister is. Duh.
Yeah.
So I knew, like August. Exactly. August. So like, I was gonna say real quick too, we watched Shelby Bowman. So for those of you that are like, what do you guys keep talking about plugging in? You guys have been doing this 5.5 years, and I still look forward to the Show Me the Money calls. Still. I love Pam Souders. Pam is the queen of It Works, in case y'all don't know who I'm talking about. Pam is like the founder. Like, she founded the rap. Like, she tried it for the first time, and she's basically like the queen of, she's everyone's upline. So she's a millionaire. She's no big deal, but she's a big deal. And so Pam Souter has done these Show Me the Money calls. It used to be every like Tuesday night or Monday night or something. Now it's every day, so I forget when it was, but she does them every night now. And you guys, she literally interviews top leaders, like brand new president. I mean, it's a high class problem. She used to do it once a week. Now she has to do it every night because there's so many new leaders. So she's interviewing like triples and above every night. And the other day she had Shelby Bowman on. And I have watched Shelby Bowman since I joined. And I remember seeing her. She's been in the business now for 8 years. She went presidential within her first 10 months. And she was 20 years old. And she sat at Presidential Diamond for 7 years. And I remember joining 5.5 years ago. So she had been a presidential for like 2 years at the time. And I remember looking, I was like, at the time she was probably 21. I'm just guessing. She was like 19 when she went, I think, actually. So she was like 21 when I saw her. And I remember seeing her at conference, and I was like, oh, Shelby Bowman, because I was like a diamond, and I was like brand new kind of, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Shelby Bowman. And she was like, hi. And so I took a picture with her. And ever since, I've followed her journey, and now we like know each other more personally. But it is insane to see someone who sat at presidential for 7 years. She was going through seasons where she didn't believe that she was worth ambassador. She didn't think she could do it. She's like, I've been doing this now 8 years. What am I ever going to get ambassador? And Pam, her story was really cool. You'll have to go watch the video. But Pam literally said, I wish I could know it word by word, but she's like, welcome, Shelby. You've been in 8 years. She goes, I feel like that's the mark for all ambassadors. And I'm like, what an aha moment, because sometimes we're in our own journey and we're like, oh my God, I've been doing this for 5.5 years and I'm not presidential yet. But you know what? Like, my journey, I don't even want to compare it to anybody else's, because God has a plan for me. And I know presidential is happening soon because I can feel it in my team. And like, God has equipped me with this incredible team this year, and I'm so freaking thankful. But listening to Pam Queen, say, I feel like 8 years is the mark, Shelby. And I'm like, dude, if she can say that, like, yes. Not that I'm saying, oh, give me another 3 years. No, I'm not saying that. But what I love is that the queen of network marketing to me said, it's okay to be 8 years into this business and finally going ambassador, the top rank. That's okay. This journey, like what Shelby Bowman was being paid throughout those last 7 years, is amazing. So like, yay. But it just goes to show that this is not a get rich quick. And I love that, like, if you just catch the vision and you actually see what it can do for your family long term, like as you're going through the doubts and the, I don't know if I'm worth it, and like, oh, people aren't signing right now. Oh, I'm signing a lot of people right now. If you just stick with something like this and you really just like, you commit, like Alison was saying, you know your worth, you know God's got your back, you know He's got a plan for you. If there is, I mean, just hearing Pam say 8 years was like the mark. I'm like, really? Like, really? And I have heard that in the past, like a lot of ambassadors on the Show Me the Money call 4 years ago, where it was 7 or 8 years. And I'm like, okay, like it is going to happen. It's within God's time though. It's within God's time. So I love that Alison has been doing this 4 years, and Double Diamond is just the beginning, like just the beginning. And I'm so excited for me. I mean, this is just the beginning for me, I feel like. And it was just a huge aha for me to hear Pam say that, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Like, that is normal. And that is what network marketing is. It's just, if you stick with it and you learn like Alison's been learning, and you try new things and you fail forward, your time is coming. You just can't give up. People are waiting for you to fail. Like, people are waiting. My family wishes I would just stop. Like, they wish that I would just like not be so happy and positive. And I'm just like, well, that sucks to be you.
Yeah. And also the thing about it is the fact that even when we're failing forward, like we're talking about the bumps in the road, we're still making money. So like,
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about it. Like, I've earned a paycheck every single
Yeah.
month since I joined. So even if, we're saying these, like, it could be scary, like you're going to have some bumps in the road,
Yeah.
you're still making money. So
Yeah.
like, you're still going to be paid. So that's the cool thing. But in order for you to go to the next level, you have to grow so much up here that if family members, or friends block you, I've had them all, everything, say, or just, don't say the nicest things, like, I know I have such a pure heart with what I do, and my intentions are so pure, and that God has placed a calling over my life. I can't stop what I'm doing. I've called to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it is our own journey. In the beginning, it was very hard for me to compare. I was comparing myself with my time. I mean, I was like, why am I not where I want to be at? And now I'm like, okay, like I had to grow so much in order to be here. And now I know the growth that's going to take me to triple is just insane. I'm ready for it. Like, I'm ready for it. So.
And yes, yeah, exactly. And like Jenna just said in the chat, she's like, trust me, you don't want it before God gives it to you. And I love that. Like, trust me, you don't want it before God gives it to you. That's a really good one. And yeah, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. I feel like, one of my greatest ahas at the October green carpet was when Tammy Nevins, who is going to be on our Zoom next Sunday, she said on stage, she was like, do you remember when she said, I have made this, I mean, she's now presidential. She's made a lot of money. And she was like, but I don't even know where it went. Like, I don't even because she was just so bad with her money. And like, that was my biggest aha moment. And that I told someone the other day, I'm like, that is why God has not blessed me yet with the $20,000 a month that I'm praying for. Because he's like, girl, you can't even get your money right now. Like, yes, I'm doing fine, y'all. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. But like, I got it. I'm good. But like, I am so good at spending my money on bullshit. And so I even texted Chaz, because Chaz, Courtney's husband, is my financial advisor. And so I texted Chaz and I literally said, this was a couple months ago, I'm like, Chaz, I need you to help me to I need you to help me to stop. What did I say? Help me stop being a dick with my money. And he was like, and that's exactly what I said to him. He was like, I got you. Let's do a phone call. And I'm like, I just need to learn. I grew up very poor. I grew up thinking money doesn't last, so spend it. And yes, I treat it right. I pay my bills. I pay off debt. I give back, and I buy groceries first. But after that, whew. So, and when you get into a point where you have money coming in, you're like, what do I even do with it? So, that was my biggest aha at green carpet. And exactly. So God doesn't give it to you, until you can prove that you deserve it. And that was my aha, was, how I treat money. But, do you have anything that you want to close us out with? Before you do, though, hold on, wait. Before you do, for those of you just hopping on, I mentioned in the beginning, please show up to the Try It event on May 16th. I really want to have the most guests. I really want my team to come like pouring in, like squad rolling deep. And we just have like so many guests, we don't even know what to do with ourselves. And we always go out to eat afterwards. So I hope you guys can doing that too. But is there anything that you want to end us out with? Like maybe it's the beginning of the month still. So how to just like kill it this month, maybe end us with that.
Yep. Sure. So one thing about what God giving it to us too soon too is also the fact that what I've learned is you want to be very humble with what this opportunity is, because it's so easy to say I want Ambassador Diamond, but that comes with a lot of responsibility as well. We're here to mentor so many people to truly help change people's lives. Like, in the end of the day, Kim and I, our lives have changed completely. We both have grown so much. And yes, we both believe in these products. And yes, we love what we do. But at the end of the day, we are called to be in these positions, these leadership positions, to be able to help pour into each of you that you are worthy of this opportunity just like us. And that, God wants us to be humble with this opportunity too. And it's, to realize that it is from him, and that, we are so blessed to be a blessing, and that we are so blessed with the opportunity that we've been given. So definitely learning so much of that now. And I had heard those stories about, millionaires walking across the stage and they didn't know where their millions went. So this past year, I decided 2019 was my year to get rid of all this debt and start living debt free. So I have just publicly been sharing it on social media as well, that even last month I paid additional $1,058.75 off in debt. And this month, I can't wait to see how much I'm going to pay off. and I'm gonna post it every single month for the rest of the year, and I'm hoping to have a really good number by the end of the year. And on social media, when we're posting, I love to do attraction marketing posts. So even tonight for the rest of the month, I like to set different goals for myself. So weird. So even though I'm doing most of the same things every day, every month, I wake up every day. I usually only post once a day on Facebook and Instagram, sometimes maybe twice on Facebook. I don't really go crazy on posting. I really want to make them extremely catchy posts. So like tonight, what I'm going to be doing, and I encourage each of you, is if you don't have a routine of being organized, I remember, I remember it was like January of 2017, I learned that you do not have to be on your phone 18 hours a day mindlessly scrolling. Be intentional. Your time is valued just as everybody else's time is valued. Please value your time. Be intentional with your time. Take this next month and say to yourself, May is a huge month, you guys. First off, Mark extended the rank ups, okay? And I mean, there's family calls coming on, probably in like a couple minutes. I'll get off real quick. We don't know what they're going to announce, right now. But what I'm telling you is this: if you can say to yourself, May of 2019 was the month that I said, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur, and I, as a business owner, it's time for me. Yes, I pray that too. It's time for me to really step up and be organized and just be, be confident, be organized, be intentional again. But what I like to do is I like to plan my posts. I go to Pinterest. Like, I'm going to go to Pinterest tonight. I'm going to save tons of stuff for my Insta stories and my Facebook stories. Host a post. I'm going to ask that. I have a routine to ask that every single day. Step it up this week, you guys. If you didn't ask that many people last week, double it this week. And don't let yourself, if you ever had like a bad week or something, or if it's already the 5th and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be on the 5th, this month is already over. It is not, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like, I can tell you that no month is ever over until the next month. Like, you can make miracles happen on the last day of the month. So we have 3.5 weeks left of May. If you started off this month and you're like, you have a goal in mind and you're already feeling maybe like your goal, you're like, ugh, I'm not really where I want to be. As soon as we get off this call, the family call, make a point to say to yourself, whatever your name is, look yourself in the mirror. I say, Allison, you're going to rock this week out. You're going to be a business owner. You are a badass business owner. People speak life over your business, pray over your business, pray over your teams. What I'm praying for right now is I am excited to welcome my next diamond into my team. I have no idea who they are, but they're coming to me. I'm praying over them every night. I'm like, God, give me someone right now that is going to sleep at night praying for an opportunity like this. I'm helping my team do the same thing. I got some rock stars on my team that it is about their time to shine. I am pumped for some of my team that's about to blow themselves away this month. Got a ton of more promotions coming in. And now I'm like, you know what? There's someone going to bed at night that's been watching me for 12 months, 18 months. And they're like, that Allison girl, she's crazy, but I think it's time for me to join her. So be consistent. Do what you got to do, you guys. But I promise you, be consistent and be positive, speak life. And there's no cap. You are no different than Kim and I. So yeah, I'm excited. We're like not even halfway through the year, and it's literally been like the most life-changing couple months. I can't even imagine this time next year. Like, it is for everyone. It's just insane.
I'm going to poop. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to poop my pants. Courtney literally just said that to me. I probably just made it sound like I legit was about to go through that.
Like, okay, go.
I did just make it sound like I was actually I'm going to poop. I'm going to poop. Be right back. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to literally poop my pants thinking about next year at this time. Courtney said, I was telling her about how just a killer month. You guys, we had a really good month last month. Y'all know. And every day is a good month, right? But we had a record-breaking month last month. And I said to Courtney, I said some stuff, and she was like, Kim, can you even imagine where you're going to be at next year at this time? And I'm like, no, I'm going to break out in hives just thinking about it. I'm so excited. And so I love that you say that. Pray, speak life, be positive. I say that all the time. So literally speak life. Like I say that
Yeah.
all the time.
It's
So
cliche things, you guys, but it's the most crucial things you could do.
that's why they're
They,
cliche.
yeah.
Say them all the time because they're for real. Like,
Yeah.
and so this was really good. I so appreciate you being on and giving your
Of
tips.
course.
And dude, congrats on Double Diamond. It feels
Thank
so good.
you.
I bet to say that out loud.
Feels so good. Like, oof.
Yes, like it happened. It happened.
Yes.
Now it's go time. And when you promote, it don't mean rest time.
Yeah.
It's go time.
You have to work harder than ever.
Yeah.
Like now, it's like, because now I know what's out there. Like I'm like, oh my goodness. Like now I'm ready for 8,000-10,000 a month. I mean, it's crazy. Like it is. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
When you
I know.
see when you see what your hustle really looks like, you're like,
Mhm.
oh, I
And
can do that.
all we gotta do is just keep doing it and
Yeah.
having our teams keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's so simple, you guys.
It is.
It's ridiculously simple.
Yeah. You bring the
Yeah.
hustle and then your team brings the hustle and it's like, what just even happened?
Yep.
Like you look at your chart and you're like, what just happened? So
Yep.
that is so true. I've seen it happen and it's so true. So I'm super, super proud of you and Kendra, dude. Congratulations. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Woohoo! Bye,
See you tomorrow.
guys.
Yes, bye guys. Hop on the Sunday night
Mark's live.
Yup, on Mark's page. We're super excited. Hopefully extend kits. Bye guys.
Bye.
Have a good night. Thank you again. See ya.
Thanks.